Ferrari's very existence nearly crumbled in the 1960s at the hands of its fiercest rival. It all started with a heated boardroom battle over a potential buyout, two companies fighting for power, control, and pride. When negotiations collapsed, the fight moved to the racetrack, where the stakes were higher than ever. As competition intensified on the track, so did Ferrari's financial woes. In 1966, Ferrari faced its most devastating defeat, not just from any rival, but from Ford, a newcomer determined to dominate. But this wasn't just a race. It was a high-stakes war between two companies battling for supremacy in a tough economic landscape. As egos clashed and ambitions soared, Ferrari spiraled deeper into debt. What started as a battle for victory became a fight for survival, a battle to protect the legacy of a brand that symbolized luxury and speed. The financiers stepped in to salvage what was left, but was this truly the end of Ferrari's battle, or just the beginning of a new one? How did a boardroom feud bring Ferrari to its knees? And why did this rivalry explode on the racetrack? Founded in 1939 by Enzo Ferrari, the company quickly became a powerhouse in motorsport. Enzo, who started as a race car driver, was fiercely passionate about racing from the start. His vision wasn't just to build cars, it was to dominate the racing world. For Enzo, the racetrack was where Ferrari's true identity lay. As he famously said, "The car is only a means to an end, but a racing car is an end in itself." This philosophy drove Ferrari's relentless pursuit of victory, but it also became the company's greatest challenge. While Ferrari's production cars were intended to support its racing ambitions, Enzo's primary focus remained on the racetrack. He saw road cars as a necessary evil, vehicles that funded his motorsport pursuits. Ferrari's early successes on the track fueled its reputation for high-performance engineering. 1947, the first Ferrari-badged car, the 125S, was produced, marking Ferrari's entry into high-performance automotive engineering. 1950, Ferrari entered its first Formula One World Championship race, signaling its ambition to dominate one of the most prestigious motorsport events in the world. 1952-1953, Ferrari secured its first and second Formula One World Championship titles with driver Alberto Ascari. 1958, Ferrari won its first Constructors' Championship in Formula One, further establishing its engineering excellence. 1960s, Ferrari dominated endurance racing, particularly at Le Mans, securing multiple victories. By the early 1960s, Ferrari had become an icon in the racing world, dominating both Formula One and endurance racing. However, this excellence came at a high cost. How did Ferrari's financial problems begin to spiral out of control? Enzo Ferrari wasn't just passionate about racing, he was obsessed. His relentless commitment to excellence in Formula One and endurance events like Le Mans pushed Ferrari to the forefront of motorsport technology, but at a steep cost. Ferrari was constantly innovating, pouring vast amounts into research and development. Advanced aerodynamics, high-performance engine designs, and precision manufacturing were key to staying ahead of fierce rivals. By the early 1960s, Ferrari's racing budget had swelled to over $1 million annually, a huge figure at the time. Ferrari was chasing glory on the track while struggling to stay financially afloat. Despite its iconic status in motorsport, Ferrari's production car business struggled to generate enough revenue to support its growing racing ambitions. With a low production volume focused on handcrafted high-performance luxury cars, Ferrari was producing just 500 road cars per year in the early 1960s, a small figure compared to mass-market manufacturers. Though these cars were meticulously crafted and incredibly expensive, their limited numbers couldn't offset the rising costs of racing. Ferrari catered to a niche market of wealthy enthusiasts, but this business model wasn't enough to sustain the company's increasingly costly investments in motorsport. In the 1960s, the global automotive industry was grappling with inflation and rising costs, and Ferrari was feeling the pressure. With competition growing, Ferrari's financial troubles deepened. In 1963, an unexpected lifeline appeared. Ford expressed interest in buying Ferrari. The deal could have saved Ferrari, but there was a catch. Ford wanted control of Ferrari's racing division. For Enzo Ferrari, racing was the soul of his company, and he refused to give it up. He stormed out of the negotiations, leaving Ford furious. This broken deal sparked one of the most iconic rivalries in automotive history, with Ford determined to get revenge at any cost. Determined to bring down Ferrari, Ford poured vast resources into developing a car that could beat Ferrari where it hurt the most, on the racetrack. With an army of engineers and an unlimited budget, Ford developed the GT40, a car designed to dethrone Ferrari at Le Mans. In 1966, after multiple failed attempts, Ford delivered the ultimate blow. The GT40 crossed the finish line first, crushing Ferrari's hopes of victory after years of dominance at Le Mans. But this wasn't just about winning a race. Behind the scenes, Ferrari was battling an even greater enemy, its own financial survival. Competing at this level drained Ferrari's resources, but Enzo Ferrari wasn't ready to back down. Instead of cutting back, Enzo doubled down on his racing efforts, pouring even more money into the program in a relentless attempt to reclaim dominance. This uncompromising drive to win only worsened Ferrari's already fragile financial situation, bringing the company even closer to the brink. How did Ferrari's refusal to surrender on the track push the company closer to financial collapse? While Ferrari was fiercely competing on the racetrack, the luxury sports car market was becoming more crowded and competitive throughout the 1960s. Ferrari's road cars, known for their performance and exclusivity, faced stiff competition from brands hungry to capture the high-end market. In 1966, Lamborghini shook the industry with the launch of the revolutionary Miura, setting a new benchmark for supercars. Porsche made its mark with the 911, offering a combination of high performance and affordability that appealed to a wider audience. At the same time, Jaguar, with its iconic E-Type, captivated the market with a unique blend of beauty and engineering excellence. This fierce competition put extra pressure on Ferrari, whose limited production capacity made it difficult to keep pace with these rivals, both on the road and financially. By the mid-1960s, Ferrari's relentless pursuit of racing glory was pushing the company to the edge of financial ruin. As competition intensified, so did the investment in technology and innovation, with every brand pouring massive resources into staying ahead. The 1966 defeat at Le Mans marked a turning point. The cost of maintaining the technological advantage needed to stay competitive became unsustainable. By the late 1960s, Ferrari's racing budget had soared to nearly $3 million annually, driven by costly research, development, and engineering advancements. Yet Ferrari's road car production remained at around 500 cars per year, limiting the revenue needed to cover soaring racing expenses. With estimated annual revenues of less than $8 million, Ferrari couldn't keep up with the soaring costs of running a world-class racing team. The majority of the company's earnings were funneled back into racing, leading to significant financial losses. Despite winning races and maintaining its prestige on the track, Ferrari was hemorrhaging money off it. By 1969, Ferrari's financial troubles hit a breaking point. Enzo Ferrari faced a critical choice: seek external investment or risk the company's collapse. With few options left, Enzo turned to Fiat, Italy's largest car manufacturer. In a pivotal move, Ferrari agreed to sell 50% of the company to Fiat, securing a much-needed infusion of capital to stabilize its finances. The Fiat deal was a lifeline. It rescued Ferrari from potential bankruptcy and allowed Enzo to retain control over the company's prized racing division. For Fiat, partnering with Ferrari offered a prestigious opportunity to expand its luxury car portfolio by associating with one of the world's most iconic brands. However, one question lingered: would Ferrari stay true to its racing roots, or would Fiat's influence steer it toward mass-market production? Enzo Ferrari remained steadfast in his racing-first philosophy, famously stating, "The client is not always right." This declaration reflected Ferrari's unwavering commitment to performance and innovation, even at the expense of commercial compromises. Under Enzo's leadership, Ferrari continued to focus on high-performance cars, ensuring that even as production increased, the essence of Ferrari remained rooted in its racing DNA. Despite the natural tension between Fiat's desire for profitability and Ferrari's passion for racing, the partnership ultimately proved successful. The influx of capital from Fiat allowed Ferrari to stabilize its finances, invest in cutting-edge technologies, and continue competing at the highest levels of motorsport. This delicate balance between business and racing excellence became the foundation of Ferrari's resurgence. Ferrari emerged from this turbulent period stronger than ever. Enzo's leadership ensured that Ferrari stayed true to its roots. The brand continued to be synonymous with luxury, speed, and innovation. As Enzo once said, "I am not interested in what others think of what I do, but in what I think of what I do." This fierce independence defined Ferrari's comeback and solidified its place as an automotive icon. How did Ferrari's bold decisions and strategic pivots during this turbulent era cement its position as a global leader? And what can we learn from it? Ferrari's journey from the brink of collapse to becoming a global icon offers valuable lessons for businesses everywhere. Identity and purpose. Ferrari's unwavering commitment to its core identity, racing, was both its greatest strength and its greatest challenge. Staying true to that purpose kept Ferrari focused through the toughest times. Balance. Ferrari's single-minded focus on racing made it vulnerable, but its ability to eventually strike a balance between racing and road car production saved the company from collapse. Balancing passion with sustainability is a key takeaway. Strategic partnerships. The Fiat deal is a prime example of how important it is to form partnerships that align with long-term goals without sacrificing core values. For Ferrari, this meant securing financial stability while protecting the heart of its brand, racing. Exclusivity. Despite pressure to scale, Ferrari resisted the lure of mass production, preserving its status as a symbol of luxury and performance. Maintaining exclusivity strengthened Ferrari's brand integrity. Staying true to his vision was Enzo Ferrari's blueprint for success. It's not failure that defines you. It's how you wake up every day and take action in the face of adversity.